Hello. Hi, everyone. How is everybody doing? This is Attorney Claudine Gasana. It's been a few weeks since I came here to, let you know, guys, what's going on in the immigration law world. It's been a few busy weeks. That's why I haven't come here to share updates. So let me hang around a little bit to see if people are joining. How you guys doing? How was your week? I hope you have had a productive week. You guys are staying safe and healthy and grateful. So come on so we can talk I have a few updates. I don't have much really to share. It seems sometimes we get excited about something and things change, and because there's so many actors who are not getting along on how to get some of the policies moving. So yeah. So now today I'm not going to really spend a lot of time because like I said, I have been very busy. This is a busy time. I guess clients want to get things out before the holidays, and we have to work around their schedules. And and the funny thing is, when you're busy, that's when the turnover also happens. So trying to find the support staff, it has not been easy. So, but we are very grateful because busy means we are working. Busy means, clients are trusting us to, hi, thank you for joining. So I'm just coming here a little bit to say hi, to give a few updates. There's not a lot. Oh gosh, sorry. Hello. Let me see who's joining. Okay. See. Okay, thank you for joining. So I'm just coming here a little bit to provide a few updates on immigration law. Okay, let me get to it. So this video is going to stay on so you can watch. My name is Claudine Gasana. I am an immigration attorney here in Houston, Texas. I have been practicing for over 10 years, 100% immigration law. Immigration law is a field that's very broad. You have so many sections, employment-based, family-based, deportation or removal, humanitarian. So we try to touch on a few updates. So, and I always welcome suggestions or comments or any ideas of what would you like me to cover in these videos. But I like to share some updates and sometimes a few tips on different types of applications, depending on what I see that the audience should know about, given the practice or the experience we come across. All right, so let's go now. What's new? Right. So one bit of great news is the Biden administration will lift COVID travel restrictions to non-essential visitors or non-immigrant visitors. So beginning of November, I think it's November 8th, 2021. So that means that people who are fully vaccinated and who are wanting to visit the U.S., they have visas, but depending on which country you come from, if you come from countries that were had restrictions, like Schengen, the European, like the European countries, Brazil, South Africa, India. I think I'm leaving a few that were subjected to the non-essential travel restrictions. Beginning of November, I think it's November 8, 2021. If you are fully vaccinated, you will be allowed to visit the U.S. So that's good news. That is via, I guess, by air. So now, if for visitors from Canada and Mexico visiting through the by land or ferry border entry, beginning of November of 2021 as well, they will be allowed. Those travels were restricted due to COVID. So with the rest of travels by land or ferry, non-Mexican or Canadian, that will be in 2022. But in general, for people who are coming by air, you're not supposed to show a negative test, but you will be required to show fully vaccination, and then you'll be allowed to visit the U.S. Vaccination, COVID-19 vaccination. So in the other update I wanted to provide is with regard to DACA, the deferred action for childhood arrivals, DACA dreamers. The Biden administration is proposing a rule that will reinstate DACA. So as it stands right now, new applications for DACA have been enjoined or have been halted or stopped by a federal court ruling. So, right now, those who want to apply for initial DACA, deferred action status, they are not accepting. The USCIS or the government is not allowed to accept those applications. They had to stop accepting new application because a federal court enjoined or halted that process. So to respond to that ruling, the Biden administration is proposing a new rule which will be within its exercise of prosecutorial discretion. Basically, they will make it as the main purpose of DACA is to say it is within the prosecutorial discretion of the administration to say those children who came at early age, they are not a priority for deportation or for removal. So, and it's within the administration to determine which categories of migrants or foreign nationals who are here undocumented, who are a priority for removal. So they can defer, like they issue TPS status, or deferred action to certain migrants or non-immigrants, or foreign nationals who are here and undocumented. So to do that, the Biden administration is proposing a rule which will only basically, the way DACA application is set up right now, it's a combo, it's a combination of deferred action or the deferred action, like deferred removal, or deferred action to hold on removing certain individuals, but also which also has a work authorization application attached to it. So the new rule will remove the work authorization application or the employment authorization application from being linked to the DACA application. So basically, that will help in terms of fees, because the filing fees, when it's a combo application, usually tend to be higher. So, and also it would say, okay, we are not providing work authorization to these dreamers. We are deferring their removal. Like the government has in its executive power has the sets priorities of who needs to be deported or who needs to be removed from the U.S. So that's going to fall within its discretion, and it's going through to be a rule that's going to be hard for even future administrations, or to change or to remove, or which also prevent lawsuits from different stakeholders, like states who are, have claims that this is a reach, or it's overreach by the executive power. So also the rule would include, or make easier, or will include that those who apply for deferred action or for DACA, they will also be eligible for Social Security benefits. So that rule will also be specific, or will include a provision that will protect those who are given DACA status to apply for Social Security benefits, which means, they'll be able to apply for Social Security. Because some people with DACA, they don't necessarily need to apply for work permit. They probably just need to have a piece, like, okay, I'm here legally, so I'm not going to be deported, I'm not going to be picked up. So so that's going to be a quasi status. So that means beginning, there's a new form, because of course, if they are going to remove the employment authorization aspect from the DACA, so there will be a new form edition. So in the future, I think beginning next month, when you apply for DACA, you need to be aware that there's a new edition for Form I-A2021D, which is the form we use to file for DACA application. All right, so what is so those are the really main news in the past few weeks that I haven't been on the on live. So, and some other news that I can share, which I shared before, is that beginning October 1st, people who are required, or applicants for immigration benefits, who are required to submit medical examination report, we will be also required to undergo or to show proof of vaccination with the examination. So unless, of course, there are exemptions, they can apply for exemptions like other individuals. So that's something to know right now. And there are new forms as well, like new I-130, new form, new I-485 form, and which other forms? Yeah, I think those are the new forms, so just be aware. Again, I also wanted to remind everyone, that the diversity visa registration the entry period is ongoing right now. It has started on October 6, 2021, and it will end on November 9th. So I did share, on Instagram, actually I think also on Facebook as well, how to register. Registration is free, so please don't fall for any scam. Registration for the diversity visa program is a lottery program, so you are basically entering your application for a chance to be selected among the 65,000 or 55,000 next year. So take your chances. If you are a national, or you were born in a country that's part of the diversity visa lottery program, please go ahead and apply. You need to have your passport. You need to have a valid passport. You need to have, to have a photo, to get your passport photo taken, and you need to put all your information in. You go. Please do not apply through any other website. There is the only website that's valid, that's legit. It is the state.gov. The Department of State.gov. You can just say diversity visa lottery. If you put that on Google, and then you see it .gov. So that's the that is the .gov. Do not see anyone who's trying to get people to pay money. So at this point is registering. Registration is free because you haven't been selected. When and if you are selected, then that's when you'll be required to pay any fees. So register is simple. You don't even need anyone to help you. If you have a computer, you have internet, and you have your passport, and you have a passport photo, and you know your information, go ahead and put in information. Few updates I give to people. So, obviously if you are single, that's fine. You just put your name, where you live, where you were born, your education. You have to have a qualifying education, which is a high school, secondary education, or some type of experience or trading, or 2 years of experience, or like some type of trade education or vocational training. So that's all you need. So if you are a family, say you are head of a family, you have children and spouse, yes, you include all your children in the initial entry. Do not wait until you are selected to include your children, because that may cause your application to be rejected or denied. So if you are married, you will put you are married. Even if you are separated and you haven't divorced, your divorce is not final, and your spouse is not a citizen or legal permanent resident of the U.S., you will be required to include your spouse or your children. So children, sometimes you will have children under our guardianship, but we have not properly adopted the children. So we have to have those children adopted, or your biological children, and you have their birth certificate in case you are selected. So yes, so the diversity visa program is going on. Go ahead and try your chances. Just apply. It doesn't take long. And some other updates I had today was the travel restrictions based on COVID are being lifted in November for fully vaccinated individuals or foreign visitors, and the DACA program is about to be reinstated, or there's a new rule proposed by the Biden administration, which would basically strengthen the DACA process, so that future administrations or future lawsuits don't come and stop it. And keep in mind that this whole DACA, it's an executive action. Congress is still requested, is still really called to act so that they can make dreamers, give them a path to legalization, either become lawful permanent residents or citizens. So Congress has yet to act. We thought Congress was going to include at least the DACA provisions and the TPS provisions and the farm workers in the reconciliation bill, which passed. They didn't. So it turns out the Senate parliamentarian or whatever said that it was not, like, the DACA provision and all that provisions were not qualified to enter the reconciliation bill. So those are the Congress laws and policies and rules that I'm not gonna go into details. I'm not even know, but the thing is, like, now Congress still needs to act. So if you care about dreamers, if you care about TPS holders, and who have been here for a long time, so these dreamers, they call them dreamers. They are millennials. They are now, and they are a very a big part of the society, like building communities. They have been here for years. Some of them don't even speak the language of the country they are supposed to be from. So it has been way past due the time for Congress to act. So we hope Congress will act, because actually DACA DACA, the dreamers, and the TPS, beneficiaries, to obtain a path to legalization. That issue is a bipartisan issue. Like both parties, main parties agree that these individuals have to be given a path to citizenship or lawful permanent residency and protected. So yeah, I want to also to touch on the sometimes I like to talk on a few other cases. So I want to talk on J1 visa and J1 waivers. So what is a J1 is a exchange visitors visa, which is given to foreign nationals who are seeking skills or some type of knowledge, and the knowledge that and skills that they designed to develop the country the foreign national is coming from. So when people, and there's a list of countries that need those skills. When you are a national of the country that needs, the Department of State has designed that they need a certain set of skills, and you obtain a J1 visa, which, you use the J1 as you will use a F1, which is a student visa, but the J1 will allow you to work. It's work for like 12 months or 18 months. So that's also a type of visa sometimes that you could obtain in case you can have a work, like a H1B, which is a regular work visa. Or some people don't qualify for H1B because H1B you have to have a bachelor's degree. J1 visa, you don't have to have a bachelor's degree. You need to be coming to earn or to learn skills and on knowledge that you are supposed to go apply to your home country if you are a national of the countries that the Department of State has designated or has decided they need those skills. So what happens if you come to the U.S. on J1, you spend 12 months, you spend 18 months, and that employer wants to keep you as on the payroll, like as an employee, and they would like to sponsor you. Or you get married to a U.S. citizen and you want to stay in the United States, but you have that restriction. So you have a 2-year restriction, foreign residency restriction. And you cannot escape that restriction until you get either you go spend 2 years in your home country to apply those skills, or you obtain a waiver. So most people who come from those countries, those countries are mostly the developing countries, African countries, actually maybe all of the African countries, and some Asian countries, South American countries, like developing countries, which there's a list, and also there's a program. Once your program is part of that, the list, you have that restriction on your J1. You have to leave, or you obtain a waiver. So waivers, there are different types of waivers, J1 waivers. There's the non-objection waiver, which basically is like, okay, you need to obtain a letter from your country, like the foreign, so either the embassy of your country, the consulate of your country, that your country does not object from you obtaining a waiver, or from the foreign ministry. So it depends on the country. So once you obtain that letter, then the Department of State will issue a recommendation, a favorable recommendation for you to stay here without going and spend 2 years in your home country. So that's the non-objection. But sometimes some of the programs, though, they cannot apply or do not qualify for the non-objection waivers. Those are most of the time if you came on a program that was sponsored either by the U.S. government or a U.S. agency, or your country of your country of origin. So some of those programs, they don't qualify for the non-objection, because if the country sponsored your program, basically they need you to go back. Or if the U.S. agency, which is maybe in cooperation with your country, sponsored your J-1 visa, your program, then it's because they need you to go back, so you will not obtain a non-objection waiver. So then what is left? How can you get a waiver of your J-1 if really you need to stay in the U.S. for different reasons? Then you will be you have other three options. There's so the second option is like an interested government agency can file for your your recommendation or your waiver. So that's examples of that are physicians who come on J-1 to do their residency, because they are coming here to train in different residencies, so they can be physician here, for example, or OBGYN, pediatrics, or surgery, or internal medicine. The foreign medical graduates, they train on J-1, and they are supposed to go back. But if there's an interest government agency, in most of the time is it's called the I don't remember. It's basically the association or the agency in charge of foreign medical graduates. That agency gives favorable recommendation for waiver for those foreign medical graduates or foreign physicians to stay in the United States, so they can work in underserved areas, because we need doctors. We always need, in the U.S. they always need medical professionals. We do not have enough nurses. We do not have enough nurse practitioners, or even doctors. So if someone, the government agency says, okay, we need a waiver for this physician so that he or she can go work in a rural area somewhere in Texas, or in an urban area somewhere in New York, because we don't have enough physicians. So then the J-1 will be waived. So we get a waiver. The J-1 restriction will be waived, and those physicians actually they are able to change to H-1B for 3 years and work in that underserved area, to pay for that waiver, right? Because nothing's done for free. So we waive your restriction, and then you have to work at least 3 years in this underserved area, because we need you as a physician in this area, right? Right. So that's or sometimes it's I've had a case in the few months. I've had a case that touched me. So someone came on J-1. So J-1 is the principal applicant. If you have spouse and children, they come on J-2 because they are dependent. So one of my recent cases I've had, the person came accompanying their spouse on J-2, but they spent here 30 years. They can, like I said, if you don't get a waiver, and you don't leave to spend 2 years in your home country, then that restriction follows you forever. So this individual could not adjust status, could not become a legal permanent resident, even if they had a path to that option, because of that restriction. And it's been almost 30 years. And so what happened is, they came to me, and I was able to get the Department of State to act as an interested government agency, because it's been 30 years, and there's no other option for that person to be able to adjust and obtain a green card, so they can imagine somebody who's been here for 30 years. They are now at the age of being taken care of, like you are, or maybe in your 60s, and you have a family. but they can't help you. Even the government cannot help you because you don't have proper documentation because of that restriction, that J-1 restriction. So in those also there's exceptions where the Department of State itself acts as an interested government agency so that someone can obtain a J-1 waiver. So, but there are also other two types of J-1 waiver options: the hardship waiver and prosecution waiver. Hardship is basically you came here on J-1, but then you get married to a U.S. citizen, and then you come from, maybe the U.S. citizen, and then you are or a legal permanent resident, or you have parents who are citizens or legal permanent residents. They have some type of medical condition. You are the main breadwinner, like you the principal, like who has the financial obligation in the family, or you are the healthiest. Imagine you have the elderly parents that you need to take care of, or God forbid you have a child who's sick and moving to the other country. So the hardship, moving to your country to fulfill the 2-year restriction would put exception. It's not even extreme. It's an exceptional hardship to your U.S. citizen or U.S. legal permanent resident, spouse, child, parent. So that's also a hardship waiver. There's also a prosecution waiver. Prosecution waiver is basically, if I go back to my home country, I'll be prosecuted because of, almost same as asylum, but the evidence or the standard of proof is way, way lower, because you'll be harmed because of your, political, because of the 5 protected grounds, or political opinion, nationality, race, religion, membership in a social group. For example, if you're someone who came here from, say, Iran, or let's just say Iran, or for some reason, and then you were Muslim, and then you convert to be a Christian. You can just say, I can't go back because I'll be persecuted because of my religious belief, because I changed and now I'm a Christian. If I go back, I was born a Muslim, I'm supposed to stay a Muslim. If I was born a Muslim in Iran or some other countries that are that's an example. I'm not gonna pick on, I don't want to pick on any country. So persecution waiver also can remove that restriction for J-1. So anyway, I wanted to speak about those few things, give you updates, but also give you, talk on a subject that maybe people may be interested in, like if I have a J-1 visa, but I'm restricted, how can I get it for? And stay safe, stay blessed, and you can follow me or follow us on Instagram.